Things I wish I'd known before I was married. Hi everyone, I'm Yvonne, your marriage and divorce coach here at Black Swan Relationship Academy. And today we're going to look at 5 things I wish I'd known before I was married. Because you know what, when you're getting married, you think that you are perfect. Well, you don't think you're perfect, you know you're perfect. And you know your boo is perfect because you know what? He's done everything right. Oh, he's just so gorgeous. The courtship was wonderful. The engagement was, even better. The marriage was, just such a dream. And then you now went away on honeymoon and it couldn't have been any more glorious. And now you've come back and you're getting on with life. And you are telling yourself that, you know what, our love, and you're telling each other because we love each other so much, it will see us through. We're never going to do this and we're never going to do that. A lot of things we say that we're never going to do, and we end it by saying, you know what, our love is going to see us through. And there's 2 things that we forget. We're both perfect. Both of us are perfect. And those are the 2 things we forget. But guess what? 2 perfect people are now coming to coexist in a space that they hadn't coexisted in before. Or if they had, because it wasn't solidified at the time, so adjustments weren't made. And now that he's put a ring on it, an adjustment needs to be made, because in order for us to continue coexisting, we, one does it this way, the other one does it this way. And now we've got to find a way in which it can be done that is going to be beneficial to us both, because we've got to coexist in our home, in our space. Do you know, marriage as a way of waking us up to let us understand that Boo isn't as perfect as you thought he was, and he's also waking up to the fact that you are not as perfect as he thought you were, but yet we both believe we are still perfect. We are right in the decisions that we make, and we are right in the the things that we do. But unfortunately, when you have to consider somebody else's feelings and you've got to consider somebody else's opinion, then that's where the rubber and the road will meet. And if we don't discuss it and talk about it at the very beginning and don't leave it until years down the line, it is the very silly little things that can cause us to derail what was, initially good. So, listen out for things that have been said. One of the things that I've been hearing a lot about recently, when I was very, very first married, love language wasn't something that anybody spoke about. Nobody knew what it was. It almost seems as now you can't pick up a book or read anything at all about marriage without understanding what the love languages are. And it's taken now it's recently, as I've begun to work with Black Swan, that I'm beginning to understand what the love languages are about. And one of the things that we need to understand for our person is, what is their love language? Is it that your person wants to be affirmed? And if that's the case, what are you doing, to affirm them? Is it that service is the thing that gets them to exist in this world? Or is it that they want, you to bring, whether it's a bunch of flowers or some chocolate, or you've just seen something and you bought it because you know what, you knew your boo was going to enjoy it, so you bought it for them? Is it that they want you to spend time with them, to have quality time with them? And for them, quality time means, you know what, we've had a hectic time, so let's go away for the weekend. Let's do something and spend the weekend, or go away for a night, go to to the cinema or to dinner, and do something. Or if you're not able to go somewhere, but just set a fantastic table, cook his or her favorite meal and, you know, have this wonderful time with each other? Or is it that your person wants to be touched? And it's when we understand the needs of each other and how they work and how their love language work, it enables us to get a better understanding of our own behavior. Because guess what, we too have a love language, and if that hasn't been communicated throughout, and we just think because both of us are in love is, you know, and that will carry us through, then unfortunately we're in for a severe wake-up call. Because it doesn't matter how much you love someone, but if you don't understand that your person wants to be affirmed and you never affirm them, then it's going to cause problems later on. So we need to know, and you know this by communicating. You know this by watching the things that, you know, if you say to your boo, you know, oh, you look fabulous today, or, you know, have you lost weight? I love what you've done with your hair, you know, and you see the smile on their face and you see them kind of, you know, stand up and stand, then you know that this is it. If you, you know, say make her breakfast, or you take him breakfast in bed, or you do something silly like you know, iron a shirt for him, that, you know, he was going somewhere. It's okay, you go in the bath, I'll run the iron over your shirt or the trousers or whatever it is. Something, it doesn't have to be a gigantic gesture, but something small that you have done to you know, to help him. And then they come back and they see that it's done and it's hung up beautifully, and he comes over and he, you know, gives you a hug and say, sweetheart, thank you very much, I really appreciate that. You know, then you know, and we know how to interact with our person, what it is that we need to do for them, because we have been paying attention. We're not going around with this starry-eyed realization that love is going to keep us through, that love is going to last, because unfortunately it doesn't. What marriage causes us to wake up very quickly, to understand and realize, you know what, it's two imperfect people coming together who both believe that they are perfect, and they have got to exist in a space together and be dependent on one another. Because if they don't do that, then it's going to be a case of one's going to say, I made a mistake, I thought he cared, I thought she cared, and then you realize that we have got a problem here. So the first thing that we have actually got to do is to find out, what is our person's love language? What is it that causes them to relax or to smile? You know, we know them, we know what it is that we need to do. What I'm asking you to do right now is be vigilant. If you don't know, you've just started dating, or you've just got into the relationship and is heading towards marriage, then what I would advise you to do is, you know what, look out for the signs. For, you know, when you say something that is affirming, when you do something for them, when you buy them a gift, when you spend quality time, or whether there's physical touch. Physical touch doesn't necessarily have to be the time that you're being intimate. Physical touch could just be the fact that you're, you know, you're in the house, and as you're in the house, you're walking by and you touch the person on their arm, or, you know, you just touch them on the face lovingly and walk off, and you will know you know, by their reaction, you will know if, okay, so that's yours. You will know what it is by their reaction. And then when you know what that is, then it's something that you need to keep doing once you found out what it is, in order for both of you to have unity and joy in the home. Am I saying that by knowing your love language that you're never going to have an argument, that things are all, you know, it's going to be perfect? Of course not, because even knowing the person's love language, things will go wrong. When you first get together, you are two people who are coming together and living in a space that you've not lived in before together. So there's going to be an adjustment, and this is a biggie, adjusting to each other's, having each other in that space. And the adjustment can take time for both of you. And it's something that you're going to have to remember to give this person the space that they need within that environment that you're living in. If you've had a disagreement about something and they've walked off, stay where you are. Don't necessarily follow them to go and find out, why have you walked off? What are you doing? Wait until the situation calms itself down before you approach them to try to speak about what is going on, because they're still angry at whatever it's done. What they have done is they need space, and if it's a small flat, then the only place that you may be able to go is in the bedroom or even the bathroom. And if that's the case, then that's where you go, and you've taken yourself off there. The last thing that you want to do is the door open and the person that you're wanting to get away from for a minute has just come in, or there's a knocking on the door, then wanting, what are you doing there, and wanting to know. So it's you need to learn to give each other the space that's needed at the time it's needed, so that we can calm down, get our own thoughts to go in together before you go out and tackle whatever it was that had gone wrong. The other thing that we need to look at is the not going to bed angry. It sounds so wonderful. I've heard friends try to do it and we think, oh, it's something that we had spoken about, or something that I've heard and I would like to do that. But guess what? It's not. It doesn't work. It tells you in the Bible to don't let the sun go down on your wrath. But when you're annoyed with your person and Boo has done something you asked him to do and he forgot again, with the best will in the world, you're not sitting there and you've gone to bed and he, has come to bed knowing that you're angry and he's angry, and both of you are, there's the wall of Jerusalem down both of you. It unfortunately isn't the time to talk. It might be that you speak in the morning. Don't let the sun go down. We're not going to go to bed, until we've discussed what's gone on. Is something that, save yourself the time, save yourself the thing and say, yes, we're going. No, because you won't. You will try, but this is one where it isn't, because sometimes it is better to wait in the morning than speak, because you will have had a good night's rest, and when you wake up in the morning you're ready to hear what is being said, and then when you hear what's being said, then it will go better for you than to try to make it work during the night. So don't set yourself up for something that you're going to fail at. This one, no, it's not going to. The other thing that especially it's for both of us, but especially to women. I was watching a movie the other day, and in the movie, this lady, it was on her wedding day, and on her wedding day, every time somebody walked by at the reception with whatever food it was, she was the bride, and as they walked by, she would grab a cake or a piece of chicken or a piece of meat or whatever, and she was literally just shoving food into her mouth. I should say it was a comedy. And the husband didn't understand what was going on. And she said to him, I've starved myself from the time we were serious until now. Now I'm going to eat. And I say that in jest, but you know what, as women, when we're courting, we turn up looking our very best. We're high-valued women, and as a high-valued woman, we go out and we look our best. The hair is right, the makeup is right, everything is right, and he looks lovingly at you and thinks you're oh so gorgeous, and he shows up and he's crisp and wonderful and everything, and you think, oh, we are Prince Charming and Princess Charming, and we both turn up and everything is great. But unfortunately, we have now got him, or we've got her, and we think we don't need to try anymore, or we don't try as hard. We get ready, we go to work, and we put, we paint our good face on and we go to work. We're going out with our girlfriends, we paint our beautiful, and we go out and do what it is we need to do. And he comes home from work, we've been home for a little while, and we're in sweats again, and there might be a hole in this one because it's your favorite one that you used to wear. Now he's never seen you in this and he thinks, oh, it might just be a one-off. And he comes home, and every day he comes home you're in sweats, or you know, you haven't made it's the weekend and you guys may not be going anywhere, but you haven't even made the effort to say, you know, let me comb my hair. You may not want to put lipstick on, but you're wearing a you know, maybe jeans and a t-shirt, as opposed to those old sweats again that you know live in. You know, the thing that we forget here, and it's something that I cannot stress this enough, we think it's hard to get a guy. We really do think it's hard to get a guy. But you know what? The hardest thing is trying to keep him, because if you don't, there are many out there who will for you. So before it gets there, you know what? Let's put the effort in now. Don't think as I did, well, his mum did this, so I can do that. And it wasn't until a friend pointed out to me and said, actually, you're not his mother, then I realized, oh, so the fact that she does this, and he would come home and see me looking this way because this is what his mum did when she was at home. This is how she dressed. So I thought, okay, I could dress that way when he came home. And as she said, he's not coming home to his mother, he's coming home to his wife. And when he comes home to his wife, he wants his wife to look a certain way. So let us make sure when our boos are coming home, our spouses are coming home. I'm not saying that you're dressed to the nine and looking absolutely fabulously gorgeous, no. But let's get rid of the sweats. Let's get rid of the, you know, the things with holes in them. Let's, you know, find things that you can wear around the house. You know, we had the last lockdown, and lockdown, I think, did a lot of women bad. And the reason why lockdown did us bad is we forgot that we could wear heels. We forgot how to wear heels because a number of us worked from home for just over a year. We worked from home, so you weren't getting up in the morning, putting your makeup on, putting your best suit on, or your nice skirt, or whatever it is that you wore for work, and running out the door. You were working from home, and because you're doing conference calls, or you're speaking to people on the phone, you don't need to look good if you're talking to somebody on the phone. So lockdown didn't do us any favors. And now that we've come out of lockdown and we're still working from home, guess what? We believe we can stay the same way. But my friends, we can't. So let us try to up the ante. Do something that is going to surprise your boo when he, you know, your spouse when they get home. Don't let him come in and find you in the same old, same old. Why don't you put a nice dress on, put a bit of lippy on, and make a nice dinner, and see what happens after that? Yes? Okay. The other thing that I want us to look at is money. Did you say that when you were getting married that we're going to pull everything together and we're not going to spend, you know, we've got our savings account, we've got this account, and we've got this account, and oh, we've got another, and this is, you know, our money? Or did you say all of it is our money? Unfortunately, when I got married, albeit I was very young at the time, and I whatever I want, because it was just me, whatever I want, I would get. And I remember one particular day that I wanted these pair of shoes. They were gorgeous. And I went out, and instead of paying the electricity bill, I bought the shoes. Made sense to me at the time. Didn't think anything of it. And I remember coming home from work one evening, and when I got in, there was no light. I didn't understand why the lights wouldn't come on. We thought there might have been a power cut. And it wasn't until we looked in the other homes we realized there was no power cut, and contacted the electricity board, because it was back then where you had an emergency number, and it was also an actual person was on the other end of the phone and not a robot. And, you know, we said what had happened, and they said the electricity had been cut off because the bill hadn't paid. And the look on my husband's face when he heard that, there was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything because I was just so wrong. I had done this. I had bought the pair of shoes, and believe me, I learned quickly that, you know, when things need to be paid, they get paid. If we're saving, it goes in the saving account. This does, and we don't, you know, I don't take things out of accounts to accommodate my needs. It can't be that way, because if I continued that way, we would have no money. We would end up on the street. So that adjustment needed to be made. There's a lot of adjustments that we need to make when we are coming together and, you know, living with someone. Have the money talk, because when you have the money talk, everyone knows what they're bringing to the table. Not only do we know what we're bringing to the table, we know what is coming in, we know what is going out, and there has to be a making sure that there is enough to accommodate everyone. So do have, you know, the talk. Do you know, within the first years of most marriage, that first year, if you can make it through that, then you stand a very good chance of making it really, you know, to the very end, because it's the first year, maybe the first 2 years, that is the most difficult. That is a time that you have to do all the adjustment. That is a time that you need to, you know, listen to what your spouse is saying, hear what he's saying, hear what is behind the words that he's speaking. Know your person beyond a shadow of a doubt, because it's a fragile state that we're in at that beginning. It is such a beautiful thing when, you know, two people come together in unity. But in order for that unity to happen, both parties need to adjust. So if you've just got married and you're going through that adjustment period, I can assure you beyond a shadow of a doubt, you know what, you'll survive it. But in your surviving it, speak to your person. Let them know what's going on with you. You know, the things that you don't understand, ask, and, you know, let them explain it. Let them tell you what they want done. You say what you want done, and the two of you, just the two of you, come to an amicable agreement in order for your marriage to last. Marriage is a great institution. It really is. God ordained it for a reason. So you know what? Enjoy your marriage. Enjoy where you are with it. And whatever stage of the marriage you're in, whether it's at the beginning, the middle, or you're further, you know, down the road in it, you're gonna get what you put into it, you'll get out of it, because you love one another. And because you love one another, you can make it work, and it will work. And when it does work, it truly is a beautiful thing. If I've said anything that has resonated with you, I hope that you can, you know, take some of the advice and run with it. A good week, and I'll see you on Saturday. You take care of yourself. Bye-bye.